You see ads everywhere telling you to buy the latest phone or the trendiest clothes. People swipe their credit cards or click buy now online without thinking twice. But what happens next? Closets get filled with stuff that was exciting at first, but now just sits there. Think about it. People in the US spend a lot of money on things they don't really need. That's money that could go to better use, right? But everywhere we look, we're told to buy more, have the newest, be the first. It's like a race that never ends. But what if we didn't have to live this way? What if there's a happier life, not chasing after every new thing? What's the real price of buying so much? How can you escape the endless buying and find happiness in what truly counts? Let's find out how to save your money and make your life richer in ways that matter.
And I choose rich every fucking time.
I spend money on things that I don't need and then I feel bad afterwards.
Something I've realized that really kind of caught me off guard is how many people spend more money on shit.
When you find yourself spending money on stuff you don't need, when you feel like you gotta get a new shirt or you gotta get new shoes or you need to get a really nice car because if you have those things, you're gonna be more successful or people are gonna think a certain thing about you or you're gonna feel better about yourself, you know that you're suffering from being too materialistic.
Picture this. You're scrolling through your phone and every few swipes, there's someone showing off a brand new watch, the latest sneakers, or a vacation spot so fancy it seems out of this world. This isn't just by chance, it's how social media hooks us into wanting more even when our wallets say no. Now, think about the celebrities and influencers we all follow. They're living lives full of luxury items and experiences, and it's all over our feeds. They make it look like this is normal, that everyone should have these things to be happy. But here's the secret. It's all a show to get us to buy things we often can't afford and don't really need. Did you know that young folks today feel they have to buy expensive brands just to fit in? It's because of something called the panoply effect. It's a fancy way of saying that buying certain brands makes us feel like we're part of a special group. But the truth is, it's making us spend too much. Social media isn't just about sharing moments with friends anymore. It's turned into a giant mall with ads and influencers everywhere. It's like there's a constant whisper in our ear, buy this and you'll be happier. But let's pause and ask, does owning more stuff really make us happy? Or is it just a quick thrill that fades, leaving us wanting more? It's time we talk about the real impact of all this on our money and our minds. How do we stop the scroll from turning into a shopping spree? Also, ever walked into a store or browsed online, telling yourself you're just looking, and then somehow ended up buying something you didn't plan to? That's an impulse buy, and it's like a sneaky little habit that can really mess with our budgets. Here's a shocker. People in the US have spent a whopping $71 billion on stuff they just stumbled upon on social media. Yep, that's billion with a B. And guess what? Nearly half of them later think, why did I even buy that? This kind of shopping on a whim is a big deal because it's not just about the little things. It can lead to big money troubles. So why do we do it? It's all about the feel-good vibes. Seeing something we like gives us a quick happiness boost. It's science. Our brains get a hit of dopamine, that happy chemical, when we buy something new. But the happiness from impulse buys fades fast, leaving us looking for the next thing to catch our eye. And social media, it's like an impulse buy central, with ads tailored just for us and influencers showing off the latest must-haves. It's too easy to click buy before we even think it through. Plus, seeing our friends and favorite celebs with the newest gadgets or trendy clothes makes us want to keep up. But keeping up can mean falling behind financially. So how do we fight back against the impulse buy epidemic? It starts with recognizing the tricks and triggers that make us want to spend without thinking. It's about taking control of our shopping habits and deciding what really brings us joy and what's just a quick fix. In our fast-paced world, convenience is king. We're talking about fast fashion, quick meals, and anything that saves us time. But have you ever stopped to think about what this convenience really costs us? Take fast fashion, for example. It's all about getting the latest styles fast and cheap. Sounds great, right? But here's the catch. Those cheap prices come with a hidden cost. To keep prices low, some companies cut corners on quality and worker pay. And what happens when we're done with these clothes? Most end up in landfills, hurting our planet. Now let's talk about fast food. It's the same deal. It's quick, it's easy, and it fits our busy lives. But just like with fast fashion, the real cost isn't just in the dollars we spend, it's in the impact on our health and the environment. Plus, constantly opting for convenience can drain our wallets faster than we think. Those small, quick purchases add up. So, why do we fall for it? It's simple. We're wired to seek out what's easy and what feels good in the moment. But every time we choose convenience, we're making a trade-off. We might save time today, but we pay for it tomorrow in ways we don't always see right away. The good news? We can start making smarter choices. It's about thinking long-term and asking ourselves what we're really getting for our money. Is it worth the hidden costs? Ever heard the saying, more is better? Well, it turns out that might not be true after all, especially when it comes to happiness. We're bombarded with messages telling us that the next big purchase will be the one to make us happy.
This one is that there's just this overarching message that the more you have, the more you spend, the more you acquire, the happier you will be.
But let's get real. Does having more stuff actually lead to lasting joy? Studies show that after our basic needs are met, more money and more things don't make us a lot happier. It's a tough pill to swallow in a world where every ad, every social media post seems to scream the opposite. We see influencers with closets full of clothes they've worn once, garages with cars still sporting their price tags, and we think, if only that were me. But here's the kicker. Even those influencers aren't any happier with all that stuff. The problem is, chasing after material happiness is like running on a treadmill. No matter how fast you go, you end up in the same place. Buying that latest gadget or fashion piece might give you a rush, but soon enough, the excitement wears off and you're left wanting more. It's a cycle that's hard to break, but it's possible. Real happiness comes from experiences, relationships, and personal growth, not from a shopping spree. When was the last time a purchase made you as happy as a day spent with friends or learning something new? Probably can't remember, right? It's time to debunk the myth of more. Let's talk about finding true happiness in what we already have and focusing on the things that really matter. It's not about the stuff we own, but the memories we make and the lives we touch. Breaking free from the cycle of overbuying and overspending isn't just about saying no.
No.
It's about changing how we think about money and happiness. Here's the game plan for mindful spending that can lead to real joy and a healthier bank account. First up, know what you're dealing with. Look at your spending habits. Like, really look. What are you buying too much of? Is it clothes, gadgets, or maybe eating out? Understanding your spending can show you where to start cutting back. Next, set some goals. What do you want your money to do for you? Maybe it's saving for a dream vacation, paying off debt, or just having a safety net. Goals make it easier to say no to unnecessary spending because you're saying yes to something bigger. Here's a big one. Wait before you buy. That impulse to buy something on the spot, put it on pause. Give it a week or even just a day. You'd be surprised how often that must-have item becomes a meh after some time to think. And how about this? Unfollow the temptation. Social media can be a minefield of buy this now. If you find yourself getting tempted by what you see, it might be time to unfollow those influencers or brands that push you to spend. Lastly, celebrate the wins, no matter how small. Saved money by skipping that extra coffee? That's a win. Resisted a sale on something you didn't need? Another win. These victories add up to big changes over time. Mindful spending isn't about deprivation. It's about making choices that align with your real priorities. It's a path to financial freedom where you control your money instead of it controlling you. In the end, it's not about buying more and more. It's about choosing wisely what we spend our money on. Being smart with our money means we get to do more fun stuff in the long run. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to watch our recent video to find out how the subscription economy is changing the world. It's a look at another aspect of our consumer culture and its implications for the future.